I'm Devin, a senior at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
And I'm Chris. I'm a junior at John Jay. First time I got here, it was a far cry from the South Shore of Long Island.
Me, I'm a lifelong New Yorker, born and raised. Yet, the first time up these steps, I knew I was entering a whole other world.
John Jay College is part of the City University of New York. It's located on Manhattan's Upper West Side and has 13,000 undergrads and 2,000 graduate students.
It was begun in 1964 as a college geared towards educating police in the liberal arts. The idea was that if you gained a well-rounded knowledge of the world, then you can understand how justice fits in.
Some still call it a cop college, but police science is just a tiny fraction of what you'll find here. There's forensic science, where you'll learn where CSI ends and reality begins. He's looking for cells in a hair sample for future DNA testing.
There's forensic psychology, where you learn how to interpret human behavior before the eyes of the law. We have courses on eyewitness testimony and how juries make decisions.
Or my own major, criminal justice, for knowledge of how the system works at every level. One of the courses I'm taking now is on international criminal courts.
A new wave of liberal arts majors just came to John Jay. There's English, my major, philosophy, history, a brand new discipline called gender studies, and many more. In the 21st century, learning has to respond to changes in the world, including challenges to justice like terrorism and global crime.
Each of these majors grows out of the liberal arts tradition, yet they're all justice themed: criminal, political, social, economic, and environmental. Among all the colleges in the world, this approach is unique to John Jay.
Faculty come here from some of the very best graduate programs. Places like the University of Chicago, Harvard, and Cambridge.
And so many professors here are superstars in their field. They're pretty big deals, yet they're actually accessible. There's Professor John Madison, winner of the Pulitzer Prize in biography for Eden's Outcast, the story of Louisa May Alcott and her father.
Professor Mike Wallace, who won the Pulitzer in history for Gotham, a history of New York City to 1898. Professor Blanche Cook, who's won many awards for her work on Eleanor Roosevelt.
As for the students at John Jay, they and their families come from more than 135 countries. The college attracts driven, serious students from every economic background.
Over half of the students here are first in their families to attend college. A John Jay College education is really affordable. Tuition costs less than $5,000, and financial aid is widely available.
The opportunities for research here, even for undergrads, are amazing. You could have a hand in cutting-edge work, say, in the field of domestic terrorism, and see it published in academic journals. This is an excellent foundation for higher study.
At John Jay College of Criminal Justice, the Ronald H. Brown program and the Pre-Law Institute help students get into law school. Once students are in law school, we work hard to ensure their success.
Students can be pretty single-minded, working hard practically camping out here in the enormous Lloyd Seeley Library, known for its world-renowned criminal justice collection. Shh! Which is very conducive to work.
But that's not to say there aren't any opportunities to blow off steam. John Jay has 13 different sports and 9 active teams. And that's all within the John Jay campus.
A campus that by next year will be doubling in size. Take a look at this. Our future commons, set to open for business at the end of 2011. There'll be trees and grass here, an enormous gathering place for events, catching up with friends.
And over there, 625,000 feet of new space for classrooms, moot courts, science labs, and even a black box theater. I can't wait.
Of course, John Jay's extended campus is New York itself, the greatest city on the planet.
A place like John Jay really wouldn't exist apart from New York. 8 million people, 8 million ways of life.
If you set your sights on Wall Street, it's a subway ride away.
If you're interested in criminal justice, you may find yourself watching the proceedings of the criminal courts.
A jog over to the east side, and you could witness diplomacy at work at the UN. As part of our literature in the law class, our professor took us up to Shakespeare in the Park.
And John Jay's uptown neighbor, Lincoln Center, known all over the world for ballet, classical music, and opera.
Though for Time Out, no place on earth comes close to Times Square.
Crossroads of the world. As the world looks to New York for so much, New York itself looks to John Jay. Big names routinely lecture right here. The likes of the Supreme Court Justice, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and the Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance.
The city draws on the scholarship generated here to help tackle the most difficult public policy issues on the local, state, and federal levels. Even Hollywood gets inspired by John Jay. Many episodes of Law & Order and Law & Order SVU have been filmed here. Characters in the CSI and Law & Order even mention us as their alma mater.
Name droppers.
They're entitled. They're fictional. Some real-life famous alums include Manhattan Borough President Scott Stringer, Terry Coxum, Deputy State Director for Chuck Schumer, Henry Lee, renowned forensic scientist, and Beatrice Wilkinson Welters, U.S. Ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago.
I think you're forgetting somebody pretty important.
Who's that?
Ask me in an hour.